Hello, my name is Ruth Jones and I am an actress and a screenwriter and a novelist, and this is my life in objects. My first object is my head girl badge. I went to Porthcawl Comprehensive School in South Wales and I was head girl there in 1984 to 85, and normally they would choose somebody who was a sciencey person to be head girl, and I was more of a drama English person, and they did say at the end of my tenure, they said, I think we'll go back to science students. It was just that I did organise a really good end of school party. I did go home in a police van. The thing is, I've never quite lived down the fact that I was head girl, because even with writing my book, I have this expression where I say, I'm being a bit head girl, aren't I? And it's usually to do with things like grammar correction or spelling. I'm a bit perfectionist with certain things to do with work. Like when we were writing Gavin and Stacey, I would do the writing, and I was very particular about getting the layout and everything done. And I'm probably a bit of a nag, and I probably used to annoy James Corden quite a bit because I was a bit head girlish. I think he also quite liked it. My family often tease me, and my friends often tease me and go, yeah, it's the head girl coming out. It sounds so pretentious though, doesn't it? Head girl. I was head girl. Okay, so the next thing I have is, this is a cushion that my mother made. Now, as you can see, it's made from, it's a patchwork cushion, but I love it because it's made from offcuts of fabric from my mother's wedding dress, which is this one here, and my wedding dress, which is this bit, and my sister's, which is this bit. I think that was a pair of curtains from my grandmother's house, so not quite as romantic. But there's just a lot of love in there for lots of different reasons. My mum is quite a different person from me. She's much quieter and she doesn't show off. And yet she was a doctor, 4 kids, so was a homemaker, career woman, mother, cushion maker, extraordinaire. And she's my absolute heroine, my mum. Relationships are, I think, what really makes the world go round, really, how we relate to each other. I suppose I'm fascinated by relationships and how they work. One of the relationships I think is fantastic is the relationship between siblings, because I don't think that ever changes. I think that's the only relationship that doesn't really change. You still have complete lack of respect for your siblings in the same way that you did when you were 5. Okay, now, this is going to surprise you. Oh, yes. This is a medal from 2014, and it's from the half marathon in Cardiff. And I earned that. Okay, admittedly, I didn't run the entire half marathon. I was in a team with two makeup artists. Basically, I was filming a show that we made called Stella, which was filming down in Cardiff. Well, we got 38 people from the cast and crew to sign up to taking part in the Cardiff half marathon. And some people did the whole thing, but we basically did it in teams. And if you're in a team for a half marathon, you have to do it 10 kilometres, 6 kilometres and 5 kilometres. And I managed to find 2 other people that would run with me, but they nabbed the 5 kilometres and the 6 kilometres which meant that Muggins had to do the 10 kilometres. And I have to say, it is probably my best achievement ever in my entire life. And I was so proud to get that medal. I really was. It was so hard. But I ran the whole way. I never walked. I say that. I think my pace was the same as actually walking. So I don't quite know what qualified it as running. But yeah, I did run. I ran the whole way. I was so proud. So I'm really, really chuffed. And I have this in my writing room around the statue of my laughing Buddha. So this is, oh, my mum is so brilliant because she managed to locate this for me. This is a tin of Glengettie tea. As you can see, it's quite old and battered. And inside is a spoon. And I was brought up on this. So my dad used to make a pot of tea in the morning, and he would use this spoon, which actually has Shakespeare on it. I love that spoon. My brothers and my sister know that I've asked for this after my mother's days. I can't find Glengettie in supermarkets outside of Wales, and it does actually say blended for Wales since 1952. So it's not made in Wales, but for some reason it's made for the entire nation of Wales. And I remember my dad he'd have a cup and saucer. If he was going to be late for work, he worked at Talbot Steelworks, he used to pour it into his saucer and drink it from the saucer. And I used to think that was magical. And he used to explain how it just cools it down. I can always remember my dad in the mornings pouring his tea like that, drinking it out of the saucer. So yes, this very much reminds me of my childhood, and it makes me feel very secure. Okay, my next object is this, which is a wedding ring, as you can see, and it belonged to my dear mother-in-law, and she died in 2012, and she just was gorgeous, and she was from South Yorkshire, and she had dementia in her last couple of years of her life. But she was always so good-natured. On my mother-in-law's last birthday, she was 88. We got these singers to come and sing for her at her, they were called the Siren Sisters, and they sang old wartime songs, and they dressed up in the uniforms and all that. They had a break in the proceedings, and they gave Margaret the microphone. And when Margaret was younger, she used to belong to a little entertainment group called the Benburg Follies, and she was their resident impressionist. She used to do impressions of people like Marlene Dietrich. And so she got up and did this set. And she could remember everything. She was doing all these impersonations, Gracie Fields, remembering these poems, did this whole long poem. And it was sad, because you just think that's what dementia can do to people. But there was something so beautiful about her being so happy and so present in that moment and entertaining us all. You know, it was joyous. So I wear Margaret's wedding ring, and it's a permanent reminder of a very beautiful and special woman in my life. So this is my final object now. It's a little bit disrespectful, but I just have to bear with me a second. So this is a BAFTA, and this is the BAFTA that was given to Gavin and Stacey in 2008. And it was a very, very proud moment. James and I were very, very shocked when we got it. And it was a lovely, lovely surprise, because there were shows on there, like I think The Apprentice was up for one. I can always remember Alan Sugar apparently said, who's Gavin and Stacey? So we didn't think we were going to win it, and we did, and it was lovely. Now the sad thing about this BAFTA is it snapped off. So it's stuck together in my writing room with a bit of blue tack. I have honestly tried to fix it loads of times, but I can't. So it sort of stays like that. And sometimes, unless I balance it up against something, well, it's doing quite well actually at the moment. But if I left it like that, guaranteed in about 20 minutes, it would just fall off. So I feel a bit bad that happened. But then I think there's probably not any other BAFTAs like that, is there? Where it's basically a stump. It's a BAFTA stump. You know, if you get given a BAFTA, you're not allowed to, you're certainly not allowed to sell them. So I couldn't sell this on eBay. Mind you, who'd want to buy it, really? Do you know, I've never shown this to anybody before because it's so embarrassing. But I'm really, really, really proud of it because Gavin and Stacey were such a massive part of my life, and it led on to such incredible things, and we made Stella after that, and the character of Nessa that I played in it was just a joy, and I love her and still revert to my inner Nessa sometimes, especially when somebody's really annoying me, where I can go, oh, back off. So I do love that. I think Nessa's advice to women around the world would be, don't be afraid, try anything. Well, within reason. No, I can't say that. Don't use that, because that's rubbish. For starters, it's rubbish. Nessa's bit of advice for women around the world would be, oh, love, don't get on my nerves, all right? Told you that was going to happen.